Thank you, Master of Ceremony and honorable judges. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
11 years ago, when I was an elementary student, I was a transfer student. In a new environment, not able to get on with my new classmates, I was getting afraid to go to school, little by little. As I stopped going to school, I was treated more and more coldly by classmates and even teachers. They always said to me, "You are cheating by not going to school. You must go to school, whatever happened to you." Quickly, I couldn't find my own meaning and belonging at school. And eventually, I could not go to school anymore. I felt as if I had been a failure and a complete outcast in society, and I had even lost hope in my life. Yes, I confess that I was a school refuser. These days, the number of school refusers is increasing in Japan, and they are always suffering, unable to get out of their self-loathing. Everyone, please imagine, if your child told you that they could not go to school anymore, what would you say? Today, I'd like to say to you, future parents, the importance of giving shelter from school to your dear children. After my speech, I hope students having trouble going to school saved even a little bit by finding their place. The number of school refusers is increasing year by year. A survey that Max shows that within these 20 years, the number of school refusers has increased from 60,000 to 120,000, and furthermore, the Nippon Foundation study estimates that 1 in 10 junior high school students, although they attend school, find school difficult. Thus, it's becoming more and more imperative to have shelter from school. However, to make matters worse, Japan's compulsory education system forces them to go to school, and they are often regarded as losers from stereotype that school is natural and not going to school is unnatural and incorrect. People criticize school refusers based on that, even if they cannot go for some compelling reason. As a result, school refusers assume that they are dropped out and have a calm of themselves. In these dire circumstances, they can get even sicker, and even worse, they might commit suicide. Not attending school is never comfortable. They don't know why, but sometimes they cannot get out in the morning or move their feet after getting ready. I also stayed at home, looked at the clock, and imagined a class at school. I will be taking an English class now. At such times, I wondered, how come I can't go to school? How am I going to catch up with my studies? These and other words keep running through my head even while I was away from school. Nevertheless, I couldn't move my feet, and then reprimanding myself began. So, what made him school refuser? Another research in 2014 by the Max shows that two reason causes are study problems and research problems, and I believe the root cause is standardized education system in Japan. Under this system, some students are left behind from school studies. In my case, I couldn't keep up with classes and lost motivation to study. Moreover, school is an indispensable place for students to be. So, not being able to succeed socialize in school means losing that vital place. So, the solution is simple: sheltering them. But how? My suggestion is alternative education. Alternative education refers to education other than schooling, including school for truancy support, homeschooling, or alternative school. In Europe and United States, the system is much more familiar, and besides, in Japan, a lowest path in 2016, partly allowing students not to go to school, and with it, online schools for junior high school students opened in 2019. Also, compared to schooling, alternative education has two advantages. Firstly, you can take classes at your own pace. If you can't keep up with your schoolwork, you can take introductory courses. And secondly, they can be sheltered from school. Those who have lost their place in school need to have another site to learn or feel at home. Unfortunately, still many people have the stereotype. When I had trouble going to school, I learned by myself at a cram school, but teachers and classmates often criticized me, which made me so depressed and I couldn't find my meaning. However, only my mother embraced me by saying, no matter what kind of person you are, it won't change that you are only my son I'm proud of. School is not the only place to grow up. I feel very relieved to hear that and gained the self-confidence I had lost. Everyone, if your child tells you that they couldn't go to school anymore, what would you say? Please do not force them to go to school. Some consider the virtue to overcome difficulties, but it has a positive effect in many cases. This is a sign that they are in desperate need of your help. And if even you don't stand by your child, then they have no lives. Once we fall, we can get back up from there. Although I didn't go to school much from elementary to middle school, now I go to the university I had always wanted to. I hope at least you are on their side. Everyone, not going to school is never an escape and never indulgence. School feels keen you need to take a rest for a moment. Alternative education gives them chance to learn the lost and they can be sheltered from school. My dream is to realize a world where school fees is not discussed and do not give it a future like it is to be. Please give me your hand to achieve my dream. Please judge with due consideration which education they really need. Lastly, I conclude this speech with my mother's words. School is not the only place to grow up. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Kajino. Now we have a question and answer session. Mr. Tamura, please.
Yuki-san, thank you very much for sharing your story. How are you today?
I'm very nervous, like others.
Yeah, you did an excellent job. Thank you so much for the speech. So Yuki-san, let's start with the fundamental question. Okay. What's the most important thing we could get from going to a junior high school?
Yeah, one of the more important thing and we can gain from by going to school is that yeah, we can be more sociable, maybe other than not going to school, not going to school. So building human relationship and working together with someone is lead to improvement of our communication skills.
Great, great. Thank you. So Yuki-san, tell me why alternative education is not common in Japan, while it is well recognized in the society in Europe and the United States.
Yeah, I believe that this is because of the peer pressure that we tend to have and more likely to have than other countries like Europe and United States. Actually, the politician says when they're they were wondering whether or not they like introduce alternative education or something like that. Politicians feared that not only students who can't go to school, but also other students do not decide to go to school. So peer pressure is very complicated problem, I guess.
I see. So Yuki-san, imagine you are a teacher of a junior high school.
Yes.
And one of your students did not come to school for a week. And you don't know why.
Yeah.
And you're worried about that he could be a school refuser.
Yes.
So what would you do for him?
Okay, thank you for the question. If I were a teacher of the student, I would try to talk with him or her and try to find the root cause for not going to school for him or her, because just forcing he or her to go back to school deteriorate the situation more. So I would do that if I were a teacher of that.
It's awesome. Thank you, Yuki-san. That's all from
Thank
me.
you.
Good job. Thank you so much.